Hello everyone. Hi, I'm Garima. I am the Manager of Educational Partnerships at QuestionPro, and I'm going to conduct this webinar for today, which is the part 1 webinar. To start with, let me tell you a little something about QuestionPro. So QuestionPro is an online survey software company. We are based out of California in the US, and we have our regional office in Pune. Now, as I already told you, this is an online survey software. Now, this software will help you to create questionnaires, create surveys using a number of question types that we have. It will help you to send across. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I think there's some technical issue. Can you guys hear me? Can you please let me know in the chat box if you guys can hear me? Guys, please write yes or no in the chat box. Okay. All right. Okay. So then we'll resume. I guess you guys can hear me now. Okay, now as I already told you, this is an online survey software. Now this software, QuestionPro software, will help you to create questionnaires, create surveys using a number of question types that we have. It will help you to send across the survey to a number of people, add logic, add a couple of settings as well. And last but not the least, it will help you to analyze all your results using a number of reporting modules that we have. All right. Now, as far as the internships made easy with QuestionPro program is concerned, let me tell you, we have offered a sponsorship program to all your colleges wherein we had offered the academic license of our software to all the students and faculty members, and we had also created all your individual QuestionPro accounts. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys have not started using your QuestionPro accounts. That is the reason we started with this Internships Made Easy with QuestionPro program right now, because this is the best time for you guys to start using this, to start using your individual QuestionPro accounts, right? Because we've offered you a number of features, cool features that you can utilize during your internship period and while doing your online research, right? That is why we started with this Internships Made Easy with QuestionPro program, and we are going to guide you throughout your internship period by conducting a couple of webinars every week. Now, as you guys must have read in the emails that were sent to you, the webinars will be conducted in 3 parts. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. Now, this webinar right here, today's webinar, is the Part 1 webinar, where we are going to cover how to design a survey and how to add the settings. Now, if you guys can just hold on for 1 minute, I'll be back in just 1 minute. Okay, hi guys, I'm back. Those of you all who've recently joined, again, during this period, during this program, Internships Made Easy with QuestionPro program, we are going to conduct webinars in 3 parts. This is the first part of the webinar, and our main motive is to guide you guys on how to make your online research better, or how to make your research better. Now, we also have with us our product manager, Tripti. She's going to talk for a little while about market research. Over to you, Tripti.
Hi guys, hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the webinar today. We're very excited to have you all over here today. So, like briefing you, why internships are important, especially for our management students. So, I would just like to share a few insights with you. So, market research is any organized effort to gather information about the target markets or customers. It is obviously a very important component for any business strategy, especially, while you are talking about corporates, the way you're interning with various companies, right? Market research is one of the key factors used in maintaining competitiveness over competitors, which is why the entire idea of, researching before a product is launched or before a new business strategy is launched is there in place. It obviously provides important information to identify and analyze the market need, market size, and competition. We use various market research techniques to encompass both the qualitative techniques such as focus groups, in-depth interviews, and probably, the quantitative techniques such as customer surveys and analysis of the secondary data. So while I talk about, Garima, could you please change the
Yeah,
slides?
yes, sure, sure.
Yeah,
Do you want me to
yeah,
move to the next slide?
that's it.
Okay,
So no, this is fine. This is
okay.
fine. So while we talk about primary market research, this is basically a field research which involves gathering new data that has not been collected before. So I'm sure while most of you guys are doing your internships right now, you must have been told by your company mentors and guides to to do a field research on a new data. It is probably because the company is right now, trying to explore new product strategies, and they want to do a market research before they launch themselves onto that particular product, right? So for example, surveys using questionnaires or interviews with a group of people, or probably the focus groups, is basically the example of what primary research entails onto. Similarly, we have secondary research, which is also called as the desk research, that involves gathering existing data that has already been produced, right? So similarly, most of you will also be, doing both the primary market research and the secondary market research during your internships. And why we are helping you right now is because QuestionPro is an online survey software. It is basically an online research software which will help you in conducting these kinds of research over our platform. And once you have a certain data with you, once you've already done the part of research, you can further analyze this data onto QuestionPro. Furthermore, you can also collect data through the QuestionPro application and through the QuestionPro software itself. So what Garima will be taking you to, through today will be how do you conduct a how do you conduct a survey on questionnaire? How do you prepare a questionnaire on the platform? And furthermore, what are the various types of question types? How do you make a smart survey? And furthermore, Garima, this is all from my end. Probably you can start with the webinar.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tripti. Now,
Garima?
as
Yeah,
yes. So
right.
we'll resume with the webinar. Now, as Tripti already discussed with you, our main focus today is how to design a really good how to design a really good survey. You can't just keep adding questions. You have to be very careful that that the questions that you are adding should be clear, they should be specific, and most importantly, the respondents should want to, they should be willing to respond to your survey, right? And they should respond to your survey truthfully. So you have to be very smart while you're adding questions, and you have to add the least number of questions possible. Be smart, be crisp, right? So this is the main focus for today. And now I'll take you through the entire software. Not the entire software, sorry, the designing part. So we'll start with logging in. Click on sign in. Also, guys, at any point, if you have any queries, any problems, please go ahead and shamelessly you can ask all your questions. Tripti is here to help me with the webinar. We'll answer all your queries. In case I'm not able to answer any of your queries, I'll make it a point to note down your email ID, and after the webinar, I'll get back to you with a definite answer. All right? But please go ahead and raise all questions possible regarding the software, regarding your research. If you think that I'm not being clear on any point, again, go ahead and ask all your queries. All right? Okay, just a minute. Yeah. Now we'll start with logging in. Click on sign in. Okay. Now you have to mention your email ID right here. You have to mention your password right here. Now, those of you guys who've never logged in into your QuestionPro account before, let me tell you that you've created all your accounts. We received an Excel sheet containing email IDs from all your professors. Now, some of those email IDs were college email IDs. Some of those email IDs were personal email IDs. I'm saying all these things because I've been getting constant questions regarding this. So let me answer it once and for all. You have to just you have to confirm it from your professors which email ID was sent by them, because we created your accounts using those email IDs. So enter your college or personal email ID right here. Now regarding the password, you must have received a system email from QuestionPro on that particular email ID. Look for the QuestionPro system email that will contain the password, mention the password right here and log in. Now, in case you can't find that system email, that QuestionPro system email, click on forget password. Again, you will be sent a brand new password onto your email ID, and you can use that password to log in. All right. Now click on login. And those of you all who don't have an existing individual QuestionPro account, please get back to us and please make a note of this: edu-india@questionpro.com. With all your queries after this webinar, you can send your emails and your queries on edu-india@questionpro.com, and one of us will get back to you. All right. Now, once you log in, this is how your account should look like. As you can see, I've already created a couple of surveys. If you are logging into your account for the first time, of course, all this will be empty. But I have already created a couple of surveys. So the QuestionPro software keeps a record of all your surveys, the day you created these surveys, latest modifications, status of your survey, responses collected, related actions like edit, send, reports, copy. If you want to copy a particular survey, you can click on copy and the survey will be copied again onto your current account itself, and more. Rename, move, delete. All right, so these are a couple of actions. Now, guys, let me know if you think I'm going too fast, all right? Okay, now we will start with creating a survey. Right here you see this blue button, click on create survey. Now there are three ways in which you can create surveys on QuestionPro. The first is start from scratch. Now if you know what topic to choose for the survey, if you know what questions to add, you can simply click on start from scratch, name your survey, click on create, and you can start adding questions. Now, if you're someone who's doing this for the first time, who's conducting a research for the first time, and you don't know how to go about with the online research or what questions to add, what topics to choose, QuestionPro has 75 plus predefined, professionally written questionnaires, professionally written templates. These right here. All right. So if you're someone who's new to the field of research, you can simply click on any of these surveys. For example, website satisfaction. If I click on this, a professionally written survey will appear, a questionnaire will appear in front of me. Either you can use this survey from right here, or you can just simply refer to it to give you an idea on what kind of questions you should add in a survey, right? So you can definitely make use of any of these templates. Now the third way to create a survey on QuestionPro is to import from Microsoft Word. Now if you have a survey created already on a Microsoft Word document and you don't want to create the same survey again on your QuestionPro account, what you can do is you can import that Microsoft Word document onto your current QuestionPro account. You can click on sample Microsoft Word document. Once you click on this, you'll be able to download a Word document with a couple of instructions. Now the catch here is that you have to strictly follow all those instructions and you'll be able to import that Word document, that survey on the Word document onto your current QuestionPro account. Alright, so these are the three ways in which you can create surveys on QuestionPro. Now, let's start uh, with starting a starting a questionnaire from scratch. Okay, so let's name it webinar. Click on create, and the survey has successfully been created. So this right here is how your workbook will look like. Right now we are on the edit tab, workspace tab. This is your workbook. Today we are going to discuss edit and all these other settings as well. Okay, this right here is the survey URL. This URL you'll be using to share your survey with other people. Now if you share this URL with other people, as soon as they click on this URL, they'll be redirected to your survey, right? Now you can edit this URL as well. Click on this button. You can maybe write the topic of your research as well. For now I'll write webinar. Sorry. Yeah. Just a random name. Now see, the URL has been customized. So this is the best part of the software, that it's not at all rigid, it's not at all restricted, and you can customize almost everything. So now if you edit this URL and you write the name of your topic in the URL, as soon as you distribute the URL, just by looking at it, people will get to know what the survey is going to be all about, right? So this is how you can make use of small features, and you can have fun exploring the software. This right here is the preview button. Now preview button, as soon as you're done adding questions or during adding questions, if you want to preview your question of how the question looks like once you deploy the survey, or if you want to answer to your own question, you can click on preview button. I'll be using this button a couple of times in the survey, so you'll get to know what it is all about. All right. This right here is the real-time responses that are being collected. Now, if you have already distributed your survey, you're still working on the workbook, you're still editing your survey. Right here, you can see the number of responses that are being collected. Right? Now we'll start with adding a title. Right here, you can write the name of your, the topic of your research. For example, website satisfaction. Guys, I really hope I'm not going too fast. Again, if you have any queries, any questions, please go ahead and raise all your queries. All right. Now you can write the name of your, the topic of your survey right here, or anything. You can edit, you can add a footer as well. You can write anything. For example, let me write thank you. You can set the alignment, you can set up a font, you can bold it, italics, anything. And then you can save changes. And now we will start with adding questions. Click on add question. Now these are all the question types that we are going to discuss in this session. First of all, now when you start a survey, I think you should prefer starting a survey with an introduction. Now if you want to add an introduction, scroll down. In static content, you'll get this presentation text option. Click on this, and right here you can add your introduction. Anything you can, you can write the topic of your survey, you can welcome people, you can thank people for clicking on the link and agreeing to, respond to the survey. Anything, write an introduction right here, and you can move on and add other questions. So that is how you can add an introduction text. Also guys, I missed out on one point. Okay, so for all the questions, you'll get these buttons right here, settings, copy, logic, preview. We'll be using these buttons a couple of times in the webinar, so you'll get to know what they're all about. But for all the questions, you'll get these buttons. If you want to edit it, you can edit the, let me write an introduction text for your benefit. Sorry. Okay, and now if you click on settings, you have this option checkbox I agree. If you click on this checkbox of I agree will appear in front of you. You can edit it and name it continue as well. All right. And then done. Okay. Now also one thing, you can see above a question and below a question, you get this add question option. So you can add a question at any point. You don't need to worry about shuffling, the order. You can simply add a question above this or below this. Moving ahead. Now we're going to discuss all the question types. We have basic and advanced. In basic, we have these couple of categories right here. The first category is multiple choice. In multiple choice, we have select one, select many, drop down menu. Right, I forgot to mention one point. For those of you who have used QuestionPro before, the user interface has changed completely. Our focus always is to make the software as user-friendly as possible. So since you guys must be looking at it for the you must be looking at the changed interface for the first time, don't get confused. As soon as you start using it, you'll realize that this is the simpler interface. Everything is in front of you. These are the question types right here. These are the advanced question types, library. So we have changed the user interface, but it's only to make the software more user-friendly. All right. Now multiple choice. Also, one thing to notice is as you hover over these questions, please notice that on the right hand side, there's a question drafted for each question type. This has been done to give you an idea on how to use that particular question type. All right. So in select one, as you can see on the right hand side, The question is, how often do you conduct surveys? And you can give a couple of options. Now I'll show you how to add a question and how to edit it. Click on this particular question, type. Yeah. Now you can write your question. For example, how often do you conduct surveys? Daily, weekly, and now click on add option to add another option, monthly, again, yearly. Also, if you want to add an other button, click on add other, and this other option will be present as well. Now as you can see, these are radio buttons. That is why this question type is called select one, because the respondent will only be able to choose one of these options. Right here you can see, the as I told you, these buttons will be available for all the question types. Also, required button, this also will be available for all the question types. If you enable this option, this star mark will appear next to the question, and this question will be required. It will be mandatory. That means a respondent will not be able to skip it. All right. Also, edit answers in bulk. This option also you'll see in all the questions. If I click on this, I can, instead of adding the options and editing the options, you can simply edit all the answers in bulk. Okay, and you can save it. Okay, moving on. Next we have is select many. Now as in select one, you gave an option to the respondents to choose only one answer option. In select many, the respondents can choose more than one options. As you can see in the example, what types of credit cards do you have? Select all that apply. Now the respondent may have more than one credit cards, right? So they can choose more than one option. So that is why it's named select many. Then we have drop down menu. Now in drop down menu, if I click on this question, okay, now you can edit all these options. For example, again, daily, sorry, there's some problem. Daily, weekly, etc., etc. Done editing. Now if you preview this is where the preview button comes into use. If you click on, now preview button is available for all the questions individually as well, and if you click on this, you'll be able to preview the entire survey. However, if I click on this, I'll be able to preview only that particular question. Now a drop down menu appears in front of me. However, I haven't added the question, so you can add a question right here. You can edit the answer options, and those answer options will be available in a drop-down menu. All right, so this is pretty self-explanatory. Let me quickly take you through the rest of the question types. Then second category is open-ended questions, text questions. First we have is common box. Now in common box, this is an open-ended question. You can simply give this question to the respondents, and they can write their suggestions or their comments, or if you need an open-ended answer to any kind of question, you can simply use this text question option. Next we have is email address. If you want the person to enter their email address, you can use this particular question type. Next we have is contact information. Now if you want the respondent to give all their contact information, their first name, their last name, phone, email address, you can use this information. Also, let me click on this question. Okay, so you can also, if you click on this drop down menu, you can also validate or just hold on for a minute. Yeah. So if I click on this drop down menu, first name and last name, this is combined. You can click on required, and only this particular attribute will be mandatory for the respondents to respond to. All right. Also, if you click on settings, you'll see mailing address option. If you enable this option, an entire contact information question appears in front of you. Now you can make this required. Yeah. So everything. You can also, if I don't want email address, I'll just remove this answer option, right? So this is how you can use a contact information question. Moving on. Graphical rating question. Now in graphical rating questions, we have star rating question. Okay, just hold on for a minute. Yeah, we have star rating question. Now in star, I would, recommend you guys to use star rating, text slider, smiley rating, all these question types that we're going to discuss, after this. You should use all these question types because what they do is they make your survey look more attractive. So instead of using a simple select one, select many, or, a monotonous question, you can simply use such question types. Now in star rating question, you can give a few attributes like website, customer service overall, and the respondent can rate all these attributes, like how they feel about the website of your company, how they feel about the customer service of your company. They can give you certain ratings. Next we have is a text slider question type. Now instead of star rating, you can use text slider as well, where, let me click this question and show you. If I add customer satisfaction and product, and you can write the question right here. How satisfied are you with the following? Okay, now if you preview this, you can add a row from here, you can add a column from here. Now guys, please pay attention because such options will be available in most of the question types. You can also add an any option. Because we are running out of time, I may not be able to open all the question types and show you, but they'll be similar to this. This is how you can add a row, this is how you can add a column. All right, okay, let me preview this. Now customer satisfaction, I could have written, satisfied, very satisfied, dissatisfied, neutral in all these columns, and the respondents can simply slide and make use and choose the particular option. So these are questions that, add a little fun to your survey. So it completely depends on your preference, what kinds of question types you want to add. Next we have is push to social. Now this is a really interesting question type. I'll click on this. Okay, now using this push to social question type, you can give an option to your respondents to share their experience via social media. I'll give you an example. If I'm from a restaurant and if I'm the owner of the restaurant and I give an online feedback form to my customers and they give me a really good rating, I have a star rating question right here and they give me a really good rating, I would want them to share their experience via social media, right? So what we can do is we can choose this push to social question. Right here you have this option, push to social if rating is 4 stars or greater. You can change it to 3 as well. Now as soon as a person gives me a 3 or a 4 or a 5-star rating, they'll get this option, they'll get this social media bar, and they'll get an option of sharing their experience via social media. Alright, now what if they give me a bad rating? What if they give me a 1 or a 2-star rating? Then you would not want them to share their experience via social media, right? What you can do is enable this option, bad review, enable comment box if rating is 2-star or lower. You can change it to 3 as well. Now as soon as a person gives me a 1 or a 2-star rating, instead of the social media bar, a comment box will appear in front of them. Now they can write their feedback in the comment box, and I as an admin can get back to them later and on a one-on-one session and discuss what problems they faced, etc., etc. All right, so this is how you can use a push to social question. This is a really interesting question. Okay, then we have a numeric slider question. So this is the numeric slider again is similar to text slider, it's similar to star rating question. We have thumbs up, thumbs down question. So again, all these questions, add a little fun to your survey. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Right here, if you see in the example, what do you think of Starbucks? Love it, hate it. Now this text, love it, hate it, you can change this text as well. You can maybe add like it, not like it, like, dislike, anything like that. And now similarly, we have smiley rating questions as well. Again, if you look at the right hand side, how satisfied are you with the services? You can change the question. The smileys will remain the same, but text can be customized. So instead of extremely unsatisfied, you can, write something else. Unsatisfied, you can write something else. So text can be customized, but smiley will remain the same. Moving on, guys, I hope I'm not going too fast. Please let me know if you are, if you're having any kind of confusions. Okay, now matrix table question. In matrix table, we have multi-point scales, multi-select, spreadsheet, and side-by-side matrix. Now in multi-point scales, if I click on this option, okay, yeah, guys, just hold on for a minute. Let me go back to the question. Okay, yeah, let me explain it to you from right here. So how satisfied are you with the following? Now what matrix table questions do is they, instead of using a number of star rating, number of text slider questions, what you can do is you can incorporate all those questions in just one question. How satisfied are you with the following? You can add a number of attributes. Right now we have 3 attributes, website, 3 features, website, customer service, overall, and in the columns you have very dissatisfied, not satisfied, neutral, satisfied, very satisfied. Now you can add the okay, you can add the number of rows as well. Right here you can write the features, product, customer service, etc., etc. You can add the column from right here. You can add an NA option, and also as we discussed, you can edit rows in bulk and columns as well in bulk from right here. Okay, so this is how you can use a matrix table question. Next we have is multi-select. Now in the first question, multi-point select, as you can see, radio buttons are there. So all the respondents will only be able to choose one button per row. But in multi-select, they can choose more than one options in a particular row. All right. So the multi-select is similar to multi-point scales. Only the radio buttons are missing. Now spreadsheet. Now spreadsheet is again, it's really helpful. It is similar to multi-point or multi-select question type, but the difference is right here you see this answer text and answer text written. Now if you preview this question, you'll see there'll be small wait, I'll show you. Okay, no, let me explain to you like this only. There'll be small comment boxes available over there. Spreadsheet is an open-ended question. If you use this particular question, right here I will add customer service, product, guys, I'm not adding any further rows and columns. You know how to do that, right? From right here, okay? Not satisfied. Now, if you preview this from right here, you'll get this common boxes. Now, this is an open-ended question because if I am a customer, if I'm the respondent and I'm satisfied with the customers, maybe not satisfied with the customer service, I can write my comments right here. I am not satisfied, etc., etc. And you know, they'll get, instead of just clicking on a button, they'll get an entire comment box, and whatever they want to write, why they are not satisfied with the customer service, the respondents will get this option of writing the entire thing. So this is an open-ended question. Open-ended and matrix question as well. All right. Next we have is side-by-side matrix. Now this is one level up. As you can see, first, the 3 attributes: customer service, product packaging. I'm talking about the example on the right-hand side. On-time arrival, but there are 2 dimensions as well. There's importance and satisfaction. You can add more dimensions, similarly how we added more rows and columns. Now I'll give you an example. If I am from a company and I want to find out how important is customer service to my respondents, to my customers, and then I want to find out how satisfied are they with my customer service, then I will use this particular question. I can maybe add another dimension. It completely depends on your preference. Now, if the customer gives in the first row, if they choose 5, they choose that the customer service is very important to them, they choose 5 as an option, but in satisfaction they choose 2, then I'll get to know that importance of customer service is, a lot for my respondent, but they're not getting that satisfaction from my company or from my product. All right, so this is how you can use side-by-side matrix. You can add a couple of attributes as well. You can, add a couple of dimensions as well. This was all about matrix table. Moving on to ordering. Now the first is rank order. Now ordering is basically you will give a couple of options to your respondents and you'll ask them to rank order those particular answer options according to their preference. I'll show this question to you. Okay, if I preview this. Now for me, this please rank 1 to 3 the following in order of interest. You can add any answer options right here. For me, skiing is 2, snowboarding is 3, and biking is first. Okay, so this is how you can give an option to your respondents to rank and order the answer options, and then done. So this was all about ordering, rank order. Now the other two questions are similar to it. Constant sum. Again, please allocate 100 points on how you spend your income. Now, you've allocated 100 points. You can change it to 10 as well. Now, if I preview this, oh, sorry. Yeah, and the total number of points allocated is 100. To essentials, I'll give 10 rupees of my income. Here, I'll give 60. Now, automatically, 30 will appear in front of this. So this is the constant sum question, which is a little similar to rank order, and you can allocate a certain point. You can change the answer options. You can change the question as well. And this is how you can use this particular question type. And then you have drag and drop, which is again similar to to the first question. Now here, your respondents can drag and drop according to their preference. All right. So this was all about rank order questions, ordering question, and then we have image chooser questions. In image chooser, again, you have select one, select many, and rating. Now image chooser is a really interesting question and really attractive question, because what you can do is you can choose images for all your answer options. If I quickly show you this, you can assign a number of answer options right here. Now if I want that for my respondent, an image of strawberry should appear in front of above the answer option, I'll click on this. I can either add an image from my library. I can also make a Google search. All right, and that is how you can add images to this particular question type. Now the first one is select one. Again, radio buttons. Next one is select many. And the third is rating. So in the third one, they'll get this rating option. If they're satisfied, neutral, very dissatisfied, you can see below the images, there's a drop down menu. So this is how they can rate it. Next, we have a couple of miscellaneous questions, which is date and time question, CAPTCHA question. You can use CAPTCHA questions in all your surveys to make sure that, the person who's responding to your survey is not a robot. You have a calendar question and a couple of these. Okay, now quickly moving on to the advanced question types. Now we've discussed all the basic questions. Moving over to advanced question types. In advanced question, the first we have is customer satisfaction. Now all these questions are pretty detailed. You might not have to use these questions in your survey, but it'll be better if you use it because these are pretty amazing. The first is Net Promoter Score. Now first of all, let me tell you, in a Net Promoter Score, there's a promoter and a detractor. Let me tell you what a promoter and a detractor is. Promoter, the people who are willing to promote your product or any such thing, to other people who are willing to promote you are the promoters. The people who are not willing to do the same are the detractors. So you can, this kind of question type can be used for customer satisfaction survey. You can simply click on this. Okay. And as you can see right here, considering your complete experience with our company, how likely would you be to recommend our products to a friend or colleague? And the respondent can choose very, very likely or very unlikely or something in the middle. So this is the Net Promoter Score question. Next we have is Van Westendorp. Again, guys, pay attention on the right hand side. At what price is the product too expensive to consider? Now I'll give you an example of Van Westendorp question. If I am from a company and I want to either come up with a new product, or if I want to revamp the pricing strategy of a current product, I can use this particular question type. And in this particular question type, right here on, you can see that the price range is given. You can edit that price range. For example, if my company, if we sell water bottles, and if I want to revamp the pricing strategy of a 500 milliliter water bottle, and I want to know how much are my customers willing to pay for that product. In the price range, I can write 10 to 50 rupees, 100 to 200, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 300, and I can give them these options. At what price is the product too expensive to consider? At what price is the product so cheap that the product quality is questionable? And using this and a couple of other options, and using this question type, I can find out how much are my customers willing to pay for that new or current product. Right? So this is the Van Westendorp question. We have a budget scale question as well. So all the companies have a particular budget, and if they decide the budgets yearly or quarterly. So if you want to allocate a budget, and you want to see how that turns out, you can simply add this particular question type. Moving on, data reference. First is reference data. If you want, okay, just hold on for a minute. Yeah. Now, if you want the respondent, okay, just hold on for a minute, guys. Okay, reference data question. Now, if you want the respondent to mention their zip code in a particular survey, you can give this option. You can mention this question type, and you can give this option to respondents to mention their zip code. Now, if you want to validate this zip code as well, if you go in the settings of this question, you can choose a particular country. Now, if I choose, for example, India or US, only the zip code that is for if I choose US, only the zip code that is valid in US can be entered right here. So if I'm conducting a survey for US, I'll choose that as a country, and I'll only the zip codes that are valid in US can be entered in this particular question type. So that is how you can validate the zip code as well. Next one is lookup table. Now, lookup table, if I click on this question, please select the state you live in. All right. Now a drop down menu appears in front of me. If I click on this option, if I want to conduct a research in India, I can mention the states of India. All right here the states, I guess the states of US are mentioned right here. You can mention the states of India, and the respondent will be asked to click on the drop down menu. Sorry, if I preview this, they'll be asked to click on the drop down menu, and they can choose a particular state from right here. So this is drop down menu, and you can edit the answer options from right here. Also, the next question, oh god, this is too long. Yeah. Now, multi-tier lookup table. Now in this, you can add more tiers. Please select an option from the drop-down menu below. After selecting an option, another drop-down list will be displayed below. Please select an appropriate option from that list as well. Now, what you can do is, let me give you a small example quickly. Yeah, right here. Now, if you want to add more tiers to your, for example, if I want to find out what country are the people responding from, what state and what city. So I can very quickly, I'll show you. India, Maharashtra, Pune. Okay. Now below this, India, Maharashtra, Mumbai. Alright, so Pune and Mumbai will be the third tier. Below it, India, UP, Lucknow. India, UP. Okay guys, I'll have to preview it even. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but let's see. Let's explore it together. Lucknow and maybe Allahabad. Alright. Now I guess there'll be three tiers available. If I choose India, second, I can choose any of these if I choose Maharashtra. Third, Pune and Mumbai. So that is how you can add multiple tiers. Now after, for example, after Pune, if I had, displayed a comma and then mentioned, for example, Aund as an area, I can add multiple tiers as well. And that is how you can use this particular question. All right, moving on. Quickly moving on. Yeah, now store locator. Now store locator is right here you see a map. Now once you edit this question type, you'll be able to manage the map. If you mention the, okay, I'll give you a simple example right here. If I'm from Zara and I want to find out which Zara store in India or maybe in Maharashtra is doing the most business, I can display the map of India, and then I can ask my respondents to pinpoint the store, the Zara store from which they shopped. So that is how I'll be able to find out which Zara store is making the most business. All right. So you can use this particular question type in such situations. Next we have is image media tube pulse video. So in tube pulse,
Hi, Garima.
yeah, hi Tripti.
Garima?
Yes, tell me.
Garima, I'm sorry for
No
interfering.
problem, no problem.
Actually, we're running short of time over
Right,
here.
right,
So
right,
probably if we could quickly take students giving them the overview of the question types.
right, you're right.
And probably if any one of the students has certain questions, you
All
guys
right.
are free to ask us the questions on the chat window,
Yeah,
right? Or you could also raise your hand or write to us, and I could unmute you and we could have a quick interactive session as
right,
well,
right.
right? So we'll be covering all the topics now,
Right, right.
right?
Okay, quickly I'll take you guys through
Cool,
the
cool.
entire
Please
thing.
continue.
Yeah, the reason Tripti said this is because we have the part 2 webinar from 7:30. I've sent you the links as well. We have the same webinar tomorrow as well, so I have to quickly wrap up this session. Okay, I'll take you through through all the question types and the settings as well. Now, image multimedia, the first one is tube pulse. What you can do is, right here you can add a video. Once you edit this question type, everything is pretty evident. You can add a video from YouTube and you can ask, for example, if you've made a YouTube video, you can display it and you can ask the respondents to rate that video frame by frame. Alright, so this is how you can use a tube pulse video type. Next is a simple video rating question. Again, here you can mention, you can display a YouTube video and you can ask your respondents to rate that video. Next we have is heat map. Now as you can see in the example, please drag and drop the area of your interest on the image. Now for example, in this particular question type, you can mention a map of an area as well. For example, if I mention the map of Maharashtra and I ask the respondents to pinpoint or drag and drop the area from where they are responding to the survey, they can drag and drop the area and those and once okay, so I will not be covering this today because we'll be covering this in the report section on how you can decode this entire thing or analyze this entire thing. But a heat map question type can be used if you want to in such a situation where you can give a map and you can ask the respondents to drag and drop a particular area and you can find that out. Okay, now mobile, again we'll be discussing in the third part of the webinar. You can upload or attach file from right here. Here you have an option of online signature. Logic, we will be covering this. We'll be covering logic in the second part of the webinar, that is later today and tomorrow in the evening as well, 7:30 p.m. onwards. But randomizer, I'll just give you an overview. Logic, random, a lot of colleges and universities use QuestionPro for online tests and quizzes as well. So using this randomizer option, you can randomize your question types. All right. We'll be covering more of this in the second session. Now conjoint model. Now this is a very an amazing question type first of all, and very detailed. Now only the research scholars and people who do a lot of research know about this, and QuestionPro has it. Now quickly I'll take you through the conjoint model as well. Now this particular question type, okay. Now I'll give you an example. If I'm from a television company, just hold on guys. Yeah, so you can see right here, if you were to buy a TV, select the most likely feature you set you would go with. Now if I'm from a television company and I want to come up with a new television set, okay, and I want to find out which is the parameter or which is the feature based on which my customers are willing to purchase that television set. Will they purchase my television set based on the brand, maybe on the price, or on any other feature? That you can find that out using this particular question. All right. Now again, okay, so you can, if you want to find out, again, if you're from a company and you want to find out based on what parameter will your customers choose your particular television set, is it based on the brand, the price, the size? What you can do is you can simply add a couple of brands, couple of sizes, a couple of prices, couple of sizes. You can add other features as well. Let me delete this for now. Okay, and once you preview it from right here, sorry, as you can see, now at this point, individually talking about myself, at this point of time, I would like to go with a cheaper television set, right? So I don't care about the brand, I don't care about the size, I'll go for $800. I'll click on this, done. And now again, okay, similar, I'll go for 36 inches, done. So this is how you can utilize a conjoint question if you want to find out what are the parameters that will drive your customers to purchase your television set or any other product. Moving on is the max diff question type. Right here. Okay, so as you can see in the example, for each of the questions below, please choose your most and least favored product, preferred option. Now, for example, if I'm from Nestle and we have a line of products and I want to find out, for example, we have Kit Kat, Maggie, Munch, and I want to find out which is the most and least favorite product, I can mention the line of products in the middle where you can see Visa, MasterCard. I'll mention Maggie, Kit Kat, Munch, etc., etc., and I'll deploy the survey and my respondents can choose which is the most and which is the least favored product. All right. Now we have a homunculus question as well, which has recently been added, which specially caters to the healthcare industry. Now, which is okay, so if you're a doctor or something like that, you can simply use this question, and right here you can see the entire human body appears in front of you. As you deploy the survey, as you distribute the survey, okay, just a moment, guys. Okay, in the homunculus question, if you click on this question, there is a technical error, I guess. Okay, let me still talk about it. Yeah, right here. If you're a doctor, if you deploy the survey, you can ask your patients to, click and tap on the areas of discomfort. And before meeting the patients, only you can get an idea of what they're suffering or what problems they're having. Right? Now we've discussed all the question types. Quickly moving on to the settings. Now you've added all the questions, you've designed your survey. What you can do is you can go on to interface and you can pay attention. Okay, guys, hold on for a minute. Yeah, you go on interface. Yeah. Now this button, this window that has appeared in front of you, you can utilize this window to make your survey look more attractive. All right. Now, as you can see, you can add a couple of themes as well. The QuestionPro already has predefined themes, customized themes. You can use any of these themes. For example, the theme of QuestionPro is blue. So I can add a blue theme right here. I can add a header of QuestionPro or a logo of QuestionPro. So what that does is it makes your survey look more personalized and more attractive. Also, if you don't want to use any of these themes, you can simply go right, you can scroll down and customize and create a theme of your own. You can also download the survey in Microsoft Word, PDF and HTML from right here. So this is the interface window. Moving on to languages. Now, if you want to make your survey multilingual, that can be done as well. Now, if first of all, you're supposed to select your default language. My default language is English. You can choose any of these languages. Add default language. Now, if I want to conduct the survey in English and in Hindi as well, I'll click on add other languages. I'll click on Hindi, save changes. All right. Now, my survey will be available in Hindi and in English as well. Yeah. As you can see right here. Now once you choose the alternate language, all the system buttons will automatically appear in Hindi. If a person, now as soon as the respondent clicks on the survey URL, they'll be redirected to a page where they'll get this option of responding to a survey in English or in Hindi. If I choose Hindi, if the respondent chooses Hindi, the system buttons will appear in Hindi automatically, but for the survey you'll have to import translations. So first of all, your computer or your laptop should have that software and the keyboard that supports Hindi. Once you have that, you can simply import translations from right here. Click on import translation. Download import template. Now this template will help you to translate the entire thing and click on import. So this is how you can make your survey multilingual. Moving on to security. Now, if you want to authenticate your survey, you have created the entire survey, you've added themes, now you want to distribute the survey and you want to authenticate the survey at the same time as well, you can choose a global password protect. You can set up a password right here. Whatever password you choose, you'll have to let your respondents know that this is the password. So whoever clicks on the link will be asked to enter that password. Once they enter the correct password, they'll be redirected to your survey. Other than this, you have email password, username password, and a couple of other options which you can choose to authenticate your survey. Moving on to unique respondent enabling disabling. Now this feature is really important, guys. If you enable this feature, what if you only want original and authentic responses, you will have to enable this feature, because what this feature does is once you enable this, a respondent will be able to answer to your survey only once and not more than once, right? So that is how you can make use of this particular feature. If you disable this, they'll be able to answer to your survey as many number of times as possible. Enable this, they'll be able to answer to it just once. Then we have save and continue option. If you enable this, this is mostly used when you have like 100 questions in your survey. So you cannot expect the respondent to respond to all those surveys in one go. So you can enable this option and you can customize this text as well. Now, as soon as the person, as soon as the respondent is done responding to like 25 questions or so, they can click on save and continue. They can come back later and resume. All right. Next we have is countdown timer. As I already mentioned, a lot of colleges and universities use QuestionPro for online test and quizzes. So you can allot a countdown timer to a survey or a quiz as well. Minimum we have is 1 minute. Maximum we have is 90 minutes. And you can save changes. Next we have is image library. Now, as you're aware that we have a number of multimedia questions in our question types, so whatever images you are using in your surveys, they'll automatically be stored in this image library. Now, if you want to add more images in this image library, you can quickly click on browse and you can add more images. You can also search it from here, search images and import those images right here in the image library. Now, later on, if you are working on a survey and you want the same image, for example, this image I used earlier in a survey, if you want to use this particular image again in your survey, click on this HTML code, copy it and paste it in your question type. And you'll be able to copy this image from the image library to your current question. Right? Now guys, variables is an important part, but we'll be discussing it later today in the second part of the webinar and tomorrow as well, because we'll be covering this in logic. So moving on to notifications. Okay, now in notifications, we have two kinds of notifications: thank you email and admin confirmation email. If you click on thank you email, what this notification does is you don't need to track respondents separately and thank them again and again separately. What you can do is enable this option, click on settings, draft an email, and you'll be, automatically a thank you email will be sent to all your respondents. Admin confirmation email, if you enable this setting, what happens is you as an admin will be notified every time a person responds to your survey, right? Now action alert is, this is a special notification. What happens is, I'll give you a simple example. If you as an admin want to be notified when a person gives you a bad rating, just an example, if a person gives you a bad rating, you want to be notified, you'll click on action alert, you'll create a new action alert, add a criteria that, okay, name the filter, go here, choose a question, in this particular question type, if this option is selected, save filter. Okay, I'll have to name it. Okay, in this particular question, if this option is selected, now you could have used another question type as well. I'm just giving you an example because I'm currently working on this particular survey. If this option is selected, and save this filter. Now, if the person goes to this question and selects daily, what do you want to be done? Email survey administrator. Now you can draft an email and you will be notified as the administrator every time a person chooses this particular option. All right. So this was all about the notifications. Moving on to completion. Finish options. Now finish options are how you want your survey to finish, right? Now if you let it be on none, as soon as the respondent clicks on the last question, they'll be redirected to a page with the QuestionPro advertisement. If you click on thank you page with the link, what will happen is they'll be redirected to a page where there'll be a message. You can write anything right here. Also, you can mention a link right here. If you want the respondents to be redirected to your website, to your college website or to your company website, you can mention the website right here. You can mention the link address and you can write a message right here. So what will happen is they'll be redirected to a page where they'll see a thank you message and a link. When they click on that link, they'll be redirected to your company's website or any other website. So this is how you can utilize thank you page with the link. Next we have is automatic redirect. So what automatic redirect does is it is pretty self-explanatory. You will mention the website address, some website address right here, your company website, your college website, and as soon as the respondent clicks on the last question, automatically they'll be redirected to that particular website. And you have a couple of options as well present right here. Now moving on to validation message. Now as we discussed, every question type has an option to make the question type mandatory, to make it required or important. Now as soon as you enable that option, a star mark appears next to that question. Now if you enable this, this message will appear next to the star mark. You can change this message as well to this question is required. All right. Now, if you disable this, only the star mark will appear without any text message. Enable this and this will appear next to the star mark. Now, interactive survey tool. Now, what this tool does is, if you enable it, the respondent will not have to click on the next button to go to the next question. Basically, this particular feature makes the survey look more interactive. As soon as the respondent clicks, answers to a particular question, they'll be automatically redirected to the next question. Now this may sound pretty simple, but it's actually very effective and makes the survey pretty interactive. And I would like to recommend you guys to use this feature in all your surveys. All right, try it and let me know how it turns out. Next we have is rewards. Now, if you want to give rewards to your respondents, you can do that from right here. Basically, some people choose rewards. People choose to give rewards to attract more and more respondents. So first of all, you can select a qualifying criteria. If you want to reward all completed respondents based on survey quiz score, first and number of completes, random winners, you can choose a qualifying criteria. You can select a reward. You have to purchase this reward, and You can mention your email ID right here and save changes. And this particular selected qualifying criteria will be rewarded. All right. Moving on to quota control. Now in quota control, this right here is the status of your survey. If you want to change the status of your survey to from active to inactive, you can do that from right here. You can make it inactive. Now, also, if you've created the survey today and you want the survey to automatically be inactive in a week, you can mention the close date right here, and on that particular date, the survey will automatically become inactive. Now response quota. Response quota is, for example, if you have distributed the survey to 500 people, but you only want 100 respondents, you can write 100 right here, and you can save changes, and as soon as 100 people are done responding to the survey, the survey will close automatically, and as soon as another person tries to click on the URL, they will not be able to access the survey. Now this is how you can allot a response quota. Now weighted quota control. Weighted quota control is, this is a little different from response quota. If you want to allot weight to your answer options. Now I don't have an example right now because I don't have that survey, but let me give you an example orally. If you have a question, guys, please pay attention. If the question is gender, all right, and the options are male and female. Now you only want, out of these 100 responses, first of all set the response quota. Response quota is 100. Now out of these 100 responses, you want 50% males to answer, 50 males to answer the question and 50 females to answer the question. What you will do is click on this add weighted quota control, select that question. I don't have that question right now with me. Okay, let me choose this question. All right, let me show you this example now. I have 5 options right here. Okay. Now, if I just had 4 responses of, I could allot 25% to this option. Please ignore this 5th option. I don't want to make the survey more complicated. Ignore the other option. 25% to this, 25% to this, and 25% to this. If only we had 4 options and the total response quota is 5, I can allot weight to all these answer options, and what will happen is only 25 people will be able to, or 25% people will be able to choose daily as an answer option, and only 25 people will be able to answer weekly. Now if 25 people have already chosen daily, sorry, and the 26th person tries to, click on this option, the survey will terminate for them. They will not, and this response will not be counted. Okay, so they will not be able to choose the daily option. So this is how you can allot weight to your answer options. Okay, okay, I guess we are done. Yeah, so these were all the settings, and we have discussed how to design a survey, and we've also discussed all the settings, and we have a couple of minutes left. Guys, any of you guys, do you have any questions? Tripti, do we have any questions? Tripti?
Garima, this is Chetan here.
Yes, hi Chetan.
Yeah, hi. No, Garima, as of now, we don't have any questions coming up on
Okay.
chat.
Okay, fine. Guys, okay, all right. Thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this webinar. Also, let me tell you that we are conducting the part 2 of this webinar in a few minutes, 7:30 p.m. onwards, and we'll also be conducting a part 2 again tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. onwards. So please be a part of that webinar to understand. In that webinar, we'll be covering a really important part, that is logic and send options. So, and the part 3 webinar, we'll be conducting it next week. Okay, so in case you have any questions, please raise your questions. Also, after this webinar, if you have, if you still have any queries, you can simply mail us on edu-india@questionpro.com. All right. Now, thank you guys. Thank you for being with us. And this is all for the webinar. Thank you.